This is a bit odd for me, since I don't usually upload on Fridays, and I usually only upload 2 or 3 videos a week. However, given what's happened with War Thunder in the past few days, I figured I should take some extra time to talk about it. This video isn't going to be super long, but hopefully it gets my point across. The first big problem, one that a lot of people have been asking me to talk about, is the new crafting event which launched yesterday. I've talked about Gaijin's events in the past, how they bring out the worst in the player base, how they're a complete time sink that practically begs you to spend money. But this event in particular adds several new dimensions of trash. Simply put, the vehicle options are terrible. On the naval side of things, you have what is basically a copy-paste Lend-Lease ship at 2 level battle rating. The Yaguri is a Japanese Fletcher with a turret removed, but at 4.0 instead of 4.3. The first ground reward is the Su-76D, a worse version of the Su-57B, which is already in the Russian tech tree the same BR. The second ground reward is the XM8, which you think I would be extremely happy about. While I'm happy to see it in the game, I'm not happy with how they chose to add it. The XM8 is the closest the US ever got to having a modern light tank, an actual service vehicle. I mean, it just makes no sense. The US has plenty of light tank prototypes that could have been added instead. Even the other AGS candidates would have been much better options. The XM8 shouldn't be using C-76A1, an export round designed for Canada either. Considering the ammunition that other 9.3 tanks are rocking, the XM8 should be using M774 or M833, even though it was spec'd to use M900. The XM8 isn't the worst vehicle though, not by a long shot. The F4F certainly takes the cake there. For all the German mains out there, no. I'm not upset that Germany is getting a Phantom, even if I don't like Lend-Lease vehicles. I'm upset that, once again, Gaijin is giving it a top tier vehicle for money. You can't buy the F4F directly, but if you want to get it without grinding your way through the event, you need to either buy parts or buy a coupon off the market, both of which will net Gaijin a lot of money. Despite what other people say, I don't really care that it gets AIM-9Js. That's whatever. I'm disappointed that Gaijin is not making a habit out of selling top tier vehicles. It was pretty embarrassing that while I was making a video asking people to cut Gaijin some slack, the F4F dev blog comes out. If you want a more detailed explanation on why this is bad, watch my Leopard 2 PL video. So not only are 75% of the vehicle options basically copy-paste or Lend-Lease, but they also let you get a top-tier jet. Should go without saying, Gaijin, but people will probably want to participate in events more if the vehicles are actually unique, and especially if they're easier to obtain. The second topic was also rolled out yesterday, and that is the new pressure mechanic. I held off on talking about it, despite a lot of people asking me to, since I believe that Gaijin was going to make some drastic changes to it. They did have us partake in that dev server after all, and the general consensus was that it needed a lot of work. Well, turns out Gaijin didn't think so, because they put it on the live server with practically no changes. To put it briefly, it's very inconsistent and makes high explosive shells too powerful. Remember when top tier Russian tanks could spam HE and kill anything? We're back to that being a thing. It's a bit of a mixed bag, because it does help the Mimi high caliber vehicles out a lot, but it needs some significant adjustment. The mechanic is especially busted for open top vehicles. Even if the crew is effectively hidden from the shockwave by armor, the shockwave will still damage them. Just look at this footage of me messing around with the M3 GMC. Its HE shell only has 10mm of pen, but even just hitting close to an open top vehicle will kill it, despite there being plenty of armor between the crew and the explosion. Even something as small as the 50mm used by the Puma, with its 5mm of penetration, will one-shot open top vehicles or kill them with a near miss. There's also this really weird thing, where if a tank is both HE and heat, then the heat shell will do pressure damage. So even if you have a giant cannon that fires heat, it won't do pressure damage if there's no HE shell. To summarize, 3OF26 shouldn't be one-shotting things, open top vehicles need to be overhauled, and heat needs to be reevaluated as well. Sorry that this is kinda last minute. We've known about this stuff for a while, but I had hoped that Gaijin would fix them. Like I said, pretty embarrassing to be slapped with all this after that Gaijin video, but here's hoping they at least fix the pressure mechanic fairly quickly. At least the April Fool's events are pretty cool. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one.